Hello and welcome to this special edition of Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. It's the week of Independence Day, so beach driving and pedestrian safety during this busy summer holiday season is a topic of high importance. We'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Captain Tammy Marris of Volusia County Beach Safety Ocean Rescue later on in the show. We'll also take a look at the Paws of Freedom program with Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley. Then we'll get a glimpse at the many services provided by the Volusia County Library System during the summer and all year long. And then, not to be missed, some of the highlights of Watermelon Day in Volusia County. All that and so much more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. With the July 4th holiday right around the corner, Volusia County Beach Safety is encouraging the public to use alternate beach ramps to avoid heavily congested roads and beach entrance and exit points. If beach entry points become jammed, Beach Safety, in conjunction with Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach Shores, and New Smyrna Beach Police Departments will direct traffic and parking at cross sections of State Route A1A and 3rd, Flagler and Beachway Avenues in New Smyrna Beach, State Route A1A and Dunlawton Avenue in Port Orange, State Route A1A and International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach, and State Route A1A and Granada Boulevard in Ormond Beach. Traffic will be redirected to less congested ramps if possible. Mark Swanson, director of the county's Beach Safety Division, said using alternate access points will improve safety and make your day at the beach more enjoyable.
We anticipate large crowds during the 4th of July weekend this year, and because of that we are going to set up some message boards that will alert the motorists to areas that are congested and areas that there's going to be some rolling closures due to that congestion. What we're asking people to, in those cases, to use alternative access points and other ramps to get down on the beach. We ask that you come early. If you want to get that ideal parking spot that you normally like to get, I advise that you come early. But we're going to be doing our best to maintain safety on the beach, which is paramount. First and foremost is that the residents and the visitors are safe, and we're going to be trying to keep the traffic moving ahead and just so that it's safe for everyone on the beach.
For up-to-the-minute information on open and closed beach access ramps, tides, and more, you can download the county's free beach app for the iPhone and Android operating systems, which is available at volusia.org/beach. Volusia County Library use is at an all-time high, and many people have an outdated perception of what libraries do. Libraries are no longer just a repository of books. Many people visit libraries to use computers, apply for jobs and government services, and take part in educational programs. They also can check out DVDs and download music, audiobooks, and electronic books from the library's website. Last year, nearly 3.5 million people visited 13 Volusia County Public Library branches and checked out more than 4.3 million items. During that same time period, the libraries offered some 5,000 programs that drew more than 100,000 library users. One of the most popular places at today's libraries are the e-labs, which are available in Daytona Beach, Deltona, Edgewater, Ormond Beach, Port Orange, and most recently, New Smyrna Beach. Librarians are on hand in the e-labs to help patrons with basic computer skills and more.
The lab provides services in helping patrons find jobs, fill out benefits such as food stamps, unemployment, Medicaid. We also help them do scholarship searches if they want to go back to school and they're looking for money to go back to school.
The laptops for the e-labs were purchased by the Friends of the Library groups at each location.
The Friends of the Library have been great. I mean, they started out initially donating 9 laptops to us, and then they came back and they got us 3 more. So we have a lab of 12 laptop computers, and we're just so grateful because it's helping out everyone in the community. I mean, we have you know, a cross-section of all kind of people that come through here.
Each branch also offers public access computers with access to the internet and other electronic resources such as the library catalog and research databases. Free Wi-Fi is available for those who want to bring their own laptops, tablets, or other wireless devices. From mastering Microsoft to surfing the web, people of all ages are sharpening their computer skills at the Volusia County Public Library System. For more information, you can visit volusialibrary.org. Two beauty queens stopped by the Volusia County Farmers Market on June 12th to help local growers celebrate Watermelon Day. Did you know that Florida is one of the top producers of this succulent fruit? Watermelon was first harvested in Egypt 5,000 years ago, and today it's a staple at summer picnics and family gatherings.
This is a wonderful opportunity to feature Florida watermelon as well as the nation's delicious watermelon. This is a $100 billion industry, and so we'd like to support it here in Volusia County by choosing the freshest watermelon to take home and enjoy with our families. Shut the televisions off and bring the watermelon outside and slice up some watermelon and enjoy it as a family. It's healthy, it's delicious, and it's the perfect time of year for the summer eating.
And did you know that watermelon is both a fruit and a vegetable? It's packed with lycopene and vitamins A, B6, and C. And it's the most consumed melon in the United States, followed by cantaloupe and honeydew. National Watermelon Queen Amber Nolan shared some tips on picking the perfect watermelon.
There's 3 really easy steps that as a watermelon queen we like to help the public pick a great watermelon. You want to look it over. You want to make sure your watermelon has no bumps and bruises and it's perfectly symmetrical. Second, you want to turn it over and look for the yellow belly on the bottom of the watermelon, and we refer to that as the ground spot, and it's where the watermelon has ripened naturally in the sun. And last, you want to pick it up because watermelon is 92% water, so it should be very healthy.
Amber was joined by Florida's watermelon queen, Brandy Harrison, who travels around the state promoting watermelon growers.
I personally come from a very small town, Newberry, Florida, and there we have a bunch of agriculture, and watermelon was our main crop. So I've always kind of have a passion for watermelon because that's what my family grew. So I really just kind of want to spread the word about why watermelons are so nutritional and benefits you. So that's kind of why I was drawn to it.
Watermelon Day was fun for kids of all ages as locals took part in watermelon eating contests and, of course, the side-splitting, seed-spitting contests. More than 6,000 locals visited the farmers market on Watermelon Day, and more than 700 people took part in the fruity festivities. Watermelon Day was sponsored by the University of Florida, Volusia County Extension, Volusia County Farm Bureau, the National Watermelon Promotional Board, and National Watermelon Association.
Hello, I'm Volusia County Sheriff Ben Johnson with an important public service announcement. Don't risk your life and the lives of others by texting and driving. Put the phone down or safely pull over. Looking down for 1 second is all it takes. Is it really worth it?
They were picked up off the street and destined for a life of uncertainty. But now some lucky dogs from the West Volusia Humane Society have a new leash on life, and local war veterans have a faithful companion. It's all thanks to a program that brings the dogs, the veterans, and prison inmates together. Here's Joanne Magley with Volusia Here and Now.
Shelter dogs. They've had a rough life, and some people are hesitant to adopt them because they aren't sure what to expect. But that's not the case for a special class of dogs from the West Volusia Humane Society. That's because they're part of a special training program at Tomoka Correctional Institute called Prison Pups and Pals. It's the first AKC registered club to bring a training program to a prison, and program founder Alan Weigel says he and his training partner couldn't be more pleased.
Marge and I really didn't know what to expect because we didn't know how to handle the prison environment, but we were blessed to have so many great guys come in that were eager, that knew a little bit about it, and then Marge and I went on to train to teach them all the basic command in simple obedience training.
The guys Alan is referring to are actually inmates at the Tomoka Correctional Institute's work camp in Daytona Beach. The inmates apply to be in the program and are chosen by prison officials. The dogs live with their trainers who take care of them throughout the day, every day, for 7 weeks. After basic training, the dogs are then ready to be adopted by loving families. But some dogs, like Zeus, go on to get an extra 7 weeks of training so that they can become companion dogs for veterans. Iraq and Afghanistan war vet Brandon Word adopted Zeus earlier this year and says the dog helps relieve his stress.
He can tell when I'm upset, and he'll just lay down on, if I'm sitting on the couch, he'll just plop over on my knees. Like, okay, scratch me. It's like, okay, you're on the couch, I'm here, pay attention to me. Forget whatever it is on your mind, pay attention to me.
Jennifer Muni-Sathoff is a mental health social worker with the Veterans Administration. She says the VA chose to partner with the Prison Pups and Pals Paws of Freedom program because it's a grassroots program with the West Volusia Kennel Club, Halifax Humane Society, and prison working closely together.
So basically what we have are dogs that are healing themselves, paired up with veterans who are healing, and that seems to create a pretty close bond.
Stay. According to Jennifer, the veterans who have participated in the program have reported decreased anxiety, decreased loneliness, decreased depression, and they feel safer in their homes.
We encourage the veterans to talk with their dogs. There's a lot of things, these guys and gals that fight for our country, there are some of the things that they see and they do and have been through that, you know, they're worse than anything you can imagine. And they come home then to their families that they've bravely defended. And how do you make sense of all that? You know, how do you make sense of these horrible things that you've seen? And that's where I think sometimes these dogs just know, you know, and there's a connection there.
Shelter dogs who have received instruction through the Prison Pups and Pals and Paws of Freedom program have a 100% adoption rate. They earn the AKC Canine Good Citizen Certificate. They are also crate trained, housebroken, spayed or neutered, up to date on shots, and microchipped. But best of all, they come with a lot of love.
Good boy. Ready to go home?
For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
For more information on the Prison Pups and Pals or the Paws of Freedom programs, you can call the West Volusia Kennel Club at 386-734-7923. To see the dogs available for adoption, you can stop by the Halifax Humane Society, or you can log on to their website at halifaxhumanesociety.org. Thousands came together in the city of Daytona Beach for the 13th annual Juneteenth festival on Saturday, June 15th. Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day, is a holiday in the United States that commemorates the announcement of the abolition of slavery in the U.S. state of Texas in 1865. Residents enjoyed great food and family fun. Every year, the festival also features a community health fair. Stephanie Strong takes us out to the festival in this segment of Community Health Matters.
Along with lots of food, pony rides, a petting zoo, and live entertainment, the City of Daytona Beach's annual Juneteenth Festival includes a community health fair. It's an opportunity for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County to give out important health information to those who need it.
Well, Juneteenth gave us an opportunity to reach out to our community and share with our community what services we offer here at the Health Department.
And I'm here today distributing information about drowning prevention and water safety. encouraging people to learn to swim.
We're here every year, and today is very important for us to be here in order to spread the information about infectious diseases and STD and the importance of getting tested and screened rapidly.
We're here talking about our summer campaign, Eating Healthy When Eating Out, and it's just a few ways that you can learn how to eat healthy when eating out by planning ahead.
We're out here today at Juneteenth conducting our initial survey for our health impact assessment. We're studying the health impacts of Orange Avenue for their upcoming reconstruction project. So we're looking at beforehand and the reconstruction after to determine the health impacts on the community.
And our message here today is to give people information about the Florida Quit Line, which is a free service to anyone in the state of Florida who's interested in quitting. And also for those students or those persons that aren't tobacco users, we're encouraging them to, if they don't smoke, that they don't start, because this is one of the best health habits that you can possibly have for your body.
The Juneteenth Festival is one of the largest community events that the health department outreach workers participate in each year. The goal is to reach as many people as possible and educate them about the importance of eating healthy meals, getting regular physical activity, teaching toddlers to swim, staying away from tobacco products, and selecting healthy choices. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
And as always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. And now let's join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio with his guest, Captain Tammy Marris of Volusia County Beach Safety Ocean Rescue.
Thanks for joining us today on Volusia Magazine. The busy July 4th holiday weekend is right around the corner, and that means thousands of people will flock to the beach for fun in the sun. Volusia County's Beach Safety Ocean Rescue will be out in full force staffing the lifeguard towers and doing everything they can to keep beachgoers safe. If you're going to the beach, there are some common sense things you should do to keep you and your loved ones safe. Beach safety is our subject today with our studio guest, Beach Safety Ocean Rescue Captain Tammy Marris. Tammy, thanks for being with us.
It's great to be here.
Tammy, the July 4th holiday weekend is perhaps the biggest weekend of the summer on Volusia County beaches. What staffing level will you have over the holiday weekend?
We're going to be fully staffed for the holiday weekend with officers and lifeguards.
So how many towers in general do you think you try to have open on a busy holiday weekend?
Well, we hope to have probably about 50 towers open on the holiday weekend, and we're going to try to do more if we can.
You know, Tammy, hopefully, you know, the weather will be great. Usually the holiday weekend is a very, very busy time, and you know, we want to provide some just good common sense public safety things that the public should keep in mind. And I can't think of any better advice for a person going to the beach, especially if they have a family, is to swim in front of a lifeguard. That may be the biggest single thing that people can do.
Absolutely. It's the most important and basic thing that anyone can do when they come to the beach is make sure when you come to the beach you park in an area where there is an open lifeguard tower. Or if you're parking off the beach, we do have a lot of open lifeguard towers in off-beach parking areas as well.
And you know, we think of our lifeguards on the beach. Obviously, they're there to keep their eyes focused totally on the water, but they're also there to help the public and to answer questions. And if people have any concerns, they shouldn't hesitate to approach a lifeguard and ask questions that they may have.
Absolutely. When you come down on the beach, we do have beach condition signs that tell you the beach conditions or the water conditions for the day. But it's absolutely important to go to the lifeguard and ask, you know, where they should go in the water, how far they should go in, and they're definitely there to help you.
Right.
So don't hesitate to go up to a lifeguard and ask questions.
You know, one of the prime concerns, particularly during certain types of weather, is rip currents. And the lifeguards are very experienced in being able to spot rip current activity. And again, as you just pointed out, people should not hesitate to ask, because that's a very, very important piece of information. Are there any rip currents today?
Correct. Yeah, rip currents are probably the most dangerous thing when you go to the beach.
Right.
So that is the most important thing to do, find out where the rip currents are and make sure you're in front of an open lifeguard tower.
But if you know what to do, if you should be unfortunate and caught in a rip current, if you know what to do, you can safely get through a rip current. Tell us what people should do if they should be inadvertently caught by a rip current?
Yeah, rip current is a current that pulls you into deeper water. It doesn't pull you under. So the first thing, don't panic.
Right.
And yell for help. If you're caught in a rip current and you can't get out, yell for help or you know, wave your hand. But the best thing to do to get out of a rip current is swim parallel to shore.
Right.
Either left or right, and try to get out of that current and then swim back into shore. But if you can't do that, float. The best thing you can do is float and do not panic.
Right. Yeah, and as we've talked many times here, it's really only a short distance, as you say, parallel to the beach, not this way or that way, but sideways, and you are out of that rip current. It's amazing how small they are, but how powerful they are.
Absolutely. I mean, it's easy to get out if you swim parallel to shore and don't panic, and you can float. Never swim alone. And you know, if you see someone caught in a rip current, don't be a victim too. Make sure you yell for help or go get a lifeguard or call 911. Don't try to go out and rescue somebody.
Obviously, there are some areas on the beach where we allow vehicles to park on the beach. We kind of discourage you know, the back and forth traffic, you know, the cruising, if you will, but there are areas, of course, on the beach where you can park your vehicle. So if you're going to the beach in an area where there are vehicles, particularly if you have kids, particularly if they're little kids, you really have to be careful.
Absolutely. When you have kids and you go to an area of the beach where there is driving, it's extremely important to hold their hand when they're crossing the traffic lane at all times. And another easy thing you can do is set up all your belongings, your chairs, umbrellas on the east side of the traffic lane. That limits the kids wanting to go back and forth across the traffic lane to get things out of the vehicle or food or toys.
Right. And we've seen so many cases, Tammy, where you know, you go to the beach, you get in your chair, you kind of start catching some sun, and you get a little, I don't know, lazy, if you will. You know what I mean? You get half asleep, and that's where the parents really need to be vigilant. Is don't ever let your guard down.
Absolutely. I mean, you come to the beach to relax. So people, that's what people do. They get in the chairs and they relax, and they get, the children are playing.
Right.
But then a child wants to get something out of the car and doesn't tell the parent, and they cross a traffic lane. I've seen it so many times where parents don't even know, you know, where the children are on what side of the traffic lane. And another thing, when you're unloading and loading your vehicle is extremely important, because you get off guard and kids just tend to go back and forth. So.
And we discourage people from parking on the side of their vehicle on the sandy side, correct? I mean, it takes up a space for people to park, and it's also very difficult to see people that are laying in the sand.
Yeah, there is parking on the west side of the traffic lane only, and we do not allow people to lay in between the cars on the west side of the traffic lane. It's a danger. A car will go in to pull in a parking area and not see people until the last minute. And also, it's better for you to be on the east side of the traffic lane. It's safer.
Sure. Now, you know, a lot of people go to the beach, they like to bring beverages. One of the things that we don't like them to do is to bring alcoholic beverages on the beach. They're not allowed.
Right. Alcohol on the beach is not allowed. It's not allowed in plastic containers or cans in any form.
And obviously, drinking and driving, whether you're on the beach or going to and from the beach, is absolutely something everyone shouldn't do, and it's a very big concern.
Yeah, it's a big concern, and that's why it's strictly enforced. Alcohol on the beach is not allowed, especially where they're driving, and people tend to drink and then go in the water, and that's very dangerous also.
Right. You know, gosh, I don't know how many times we've seen it. I know you've seen it thousands of times, where people will go to the beach. Perhaps they don't go to the beach on a regular basis. Perhaps they're from an area where the sun isn't as powerful. They come to our beach, they lay there for 2 or 3 hours, and all of a sudden they've got a terrible sunburn that ruins their vacation. So sun protection is very important.
It's extremely important. It's not like laying out up north, and especially when you're sweating and in the water, it's extremely important to reapply your sunblock probably every 15 minutes if you're out there in the elements.
Yeah, and you know, the sun care products that people should purchase, they list the SPF factor on it. What do you recommend as a minimum SPF?
I recommend at least 30.
Right.
Yes.
And as you just said, you know, apply that sunscreen frequently. A lot of the products will say, you know, they're waterproof and that sort of thing. But really, if you're going in the ocean particularly, reapply that sunscreen.
Absolutely, yes. It gets hot out there. People tend to sweat. People tend to get in and out of the water. And a lot of times they forget. And we do see that a lot.
You know, as you pointed out earlier in our discussion, there are several areas on the beach. In fact, I think there are more miles of no driving on the beach than there are miles where you can drive on the beach. And people with kids or people that really might want to relax, they should seek out a no drive zone where there are plenty of off-beach parking areas.
Yeah, we do have about 18 miles of beach that is no driving. So, and we do have signs on our major approaches and roads telling you where the no driving areas are. And if you do have small children, that's an option you might want to think about.
Tammy, I know over the last several years the county has made a pretty concerted effort to increase the amount of information that's available, particularly public safety information. I know you have a very, very comprehensive beach app for people with smartphones that gives a great deal of information. Tell us about what's available with this app.
Absolutely. The app is it's great. You can get on the app. You can find out what towers are open or closed for the day, so you can determine where you're going to go if if you're going to be there for the day and you're going to go in the water. You can find out what approaches are open and closed due to high tides, and also environmental reasons will close the approaches at night because of the turtles. And you can find out the closest restrooms, off-beach parking areas. It gives you, it's a wealth of information, and it's a great thing to look into before you go to the beach.
Well, Tammy, I want to wish you and the folks on the beach, a really safe and great holiday weekend. I know you and your folks will be out there in full force, and so let's have a great time and be safe. Huh?
We're looking forward to it. Thank you.
Our guest today is Tammy Marris. She's a captain with the county's Beach Safety Ocean Rescue. And with that, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council meeting calendar there too. You can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, and activities. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's weekly radio program. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. And finally, we'd like to take an opportunity to thank the men and women who have dedicated their lives to protecting the freedoms and quality of life for all who call the United States of America home. We wish you and yours a happy and safe Independence Day holiday. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a wonderful evening.